Have we brought in our stormwater principles into this design? I just see a lot of concrete with where's that water going to run off to? Like, is there an opportunity for it to be greened and go through something that's green like they've done at the atrium and other places in the city to create that stormwater mitigation?
I'm quite familiar. We've done a lot of those, and I know the Ferry Atrium building quite well. Right now, the truthful answer is no. The current runoff is, well, yes and no. The plaza runoffs would have scuppers that go into the inlet, but the road right of ways are currently picked up as they are curb and gutter.
My, that's very disappointing.
Yeah.
Council, I don't know where we go with this, but I would think with all the work we've put into in stormwater and encouraging our residents and all our builders to be mindful of the damage that the stormwater creates for our very sensitive waterways, that we might try and find the money to be able to implement those principles like we've seen in other forward-thinking developments in the city. So I would need a little bit of direction on what type of motion would need to be.
So what sort of stormwater collection system do they have for the causeway and all that sort of stuff? I mean, this is all part of
none.
Okay.
So we do have to contain the runoff off the bridge and so forth. So it's not a matter of just going into the harbor. I think we're required by some of the regulations. So it is going to a certain point. With regards to certainly the suggestion I think is when we look at the plazas, unfortunately, the plazas are on the old abutments, so they're on concrete. So there's not a lot you could do with permeable pavement or something of that nature. We have, when you do look at both ends, there is a fair amount of just natural landscaping where the water will be absorbed. I think when you reviewed just the tightness of the site, I don't think that you could really put in a rain garden to redirect the flow because of the amount that it's tight. It's a good suggestion. We certainly will look at that and see what can be done. But, I think in knowing the stormwater principles very well and how tight the site is and the restrictions we have of containing the runoff, I'm not sure that there could be a lot of improvements done, but we'll certainly view that.
Well, and maybe if to council's will, if we could get a memo back on what implementing some sort of stormwater mitigation strategy on this very forward-thinking project would be nice to see whether we can find the money.
Well, certainly we can do that, and it's not just a matter of the money. We have to look and see what restrictions, but yes, we certainly can do that for you.
And the other thing that I just wanted to mention, given the amount of bricks, like we're looking at a lot of pavers on this, that's one of the concerns that I've heard from council. Is there not also a fundraising opportunity working with parks to have those named or sold or create some sort of buy a brick on our plaza and have your name on it? Well, we have it at Trounce Alley. It might be an opportunity working with the Parks Foundation that I sit on is working on how can we look to sell a brick for $200 a brick. We might be able to raise some substantial money to be able to create the public art that I'm sure Councillor Madoff would like to see on some of these large pieces of pathways. So I just don't know whether that's something that's been looked at or whether we could look at getting the Parks and Recreation Foundation perhaps to manage that for us.
I'll certainly discuss that with the Acting Director of Parks to see if within the public art component that can be done.